Welcome, everyone, to Music Junkies, a podcast about people sharing extraordinary stories about how music has impacted their lives.
Right. Welcome, everyone, to Music Junkies. I am your host, Annette Smith, and our guest today is a screenwriter, director, digital content producer, and actress. I love that she's from Ontario, Canada. Yay, Canadians. You may have seen her as one of the Sunshine Girls in the Trailer Park Boys movie, right? Great film. The cult hit The Void, right? A great hit comedy, My Roommate's an Escort. Trish now plays top dog in all the episodes of the prison comedy Pink is In on Amazon Prime. Please welcome the beautiful and talented Trish Rainone.
Hello.
Yay! I'm so excited to have you.
I'm so excited to be here because I've never been asked these, I've never even thought about what my playlist would be before, of like the playlist of life. So it's such a unique show, and I've had fun listening to episodes, and excited to be here.
Good. So before we jump in and find out all about you, what was your experience putting your playlist together for me today?
Well, I was at the gym and I was on the stair climber, and I just kind of tried to think of songs that stand out from my memory. And most of them, I guess, are like, it's all kind of like embarrassing moments, or, they're all linked to these like times throughout life. But when you hear the song, it's interesting because you feel like you're right back there. So when you have a memory that's associated with this song, as soon as you hear that song, you can remember the smells, what you were wearing, who was there. It's really cool what songs do to your brain.
It is really cool. And I love to go down this memory lane, this rabbit hole sometimes you can go down, because one song leads to another song, leads to another song. And you're like, whoa, I need to get out of this. I need to go jump into another song. And then you go down another rabbit hole. I love I love hearing about my guests and their experience of putting their playlist together because of that. And it's really, really cool. And I didn't realize until I started doing this podcast how many songs on certain, bring you so far back. Like when you were doing your do you find that it was like a certain period of your life, like that 13 to 18? Did you find like that's kind of the first place you went?
Yeah, definitely teenage years. Yeah. And then I keep thinking of other songs too. Like even now, more songs are coming back to me, like Barbecue Stain by Tim McGraw. When I was 17, that was my favorite song, and it was the time of my life. And some of the other ones on the playlist that I gave you just made me start to think of other songs and other memories. So you really do go down a rabbit hole. It's like more keep coming to you.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, we're going to start with your first. Ready?
Yes.
So who does not love Tom Petty, right? Mary Jane's Last Dance, such a good song. What's a first memory that kind of comes to mind when you think of that song?
Well, I have to thank my parents, because I do kind of come from, like, my dad's pretty cool and funny, but like he was a nerd growing up. He won't tell you that. And my mom is like really goofy and kind of nerdy, but they bought me that CD and a CD player when I was a kid, and the CD technology had first come out. That was like my big gift that year. And that's the CD they bought me. Wow. And I was obsessed. I think I was in like grade 4, maybe. So it kind of, they like upped my cool factor, because I was rocking out to Tom Petty, and I was like, my favorite song is Mary Jane's Last Dance, and I love Free Fallin'. And have you checked out so I was like singing, and I'd have my friends over and we'd come up with dances. So I remember a really vivid memory of coming up with a dance to that song with my friend Riley, who I'm still friends with today. So yeah.
I miss elementary school with all the lip syncs that you would do. Like we used to do.
Oh yeah.
It's almost, I remember our school, it seemed like it was like a carport. Like you would come out the back and it was like this carport kind of idea. And we would set up our ghetto blasters and like us girls would practice songs constantly. And then we'd walk around the school with our ghetto blaster on our, on our shoulders. And we're like, we're so awesome. Like
the memories, totally. I have the same memories. We did the exact same thing growing up in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Yeah. And absolutely.
I think of how many double D Duracell batteries we went through during the school year, right? It's crazy.
We used to go through so many batteries. I saw a meme yesterday and it was like, if you grew up during the time where you would have to steal the batteries out of the TV remote and you got yelled at by your parents because the remote wasn't working to operate your Game Boy, like you are officially an elder millennial or a whatever, the Xennial, I guess, is the one above elder millennials.
So crazy.
Or is it Gen? Yeah. I can't keep it straight, but yeah, I was like, I relate to that. We used to steal batteries all the time.
What music did your parents listen to when you were growing up?
My dad listened to stuff that I thought was really nerdy, and he'd take us on a road trip once or twice a year. My parents were divorced, and so my dad would take us for like a week in the summer on a vacation, and he would listen to lemon tree very pretty and the lemon flower is sweet, but the fruit in the middle it's impossible to eat. Lemon tree very pretty. And I remember thinking like, what is this garbage? He also had like some song one time. I took one of his vehicles as a teenager and there was a CD with a song that was like, salt, salt, salt my French fry. It was like going on about French fries. I don't know if it was actually about French fries or what that was about, but he blamed my stepbrother at the time. He was like, I think that's Fred's CD. That's not my CD. Yeah. So definitely weird music. My mom, or no, not weird, but like more, I don't know, like nerdy dad songs or what seemed like nerdy dad songs at the time. My mom was into, she liked like Ricky Martin. She likes, like, she always has these crushes, like Ricky Martin. She had a big crush on Brad Pitt and had Brad Pitt posters all over her bathroom. Brad Pitt doesn't sing, but I just thought I'd throw that in there.
We're going to talk about Brad Pitt for sure.
Yeah. And yeah, she was into like Ricky Martin, the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, all the pop stuff.
Yeah. Do you remember what kind of posters you had on your wall when you were growing up?
Absolutely. I had Hanson. Oh yeah. And I would, so this is really embarrassing, but and especially because I look like a Hanson member. So I'm not really sure what that says about me psychologically. But I used to be so obsessed with Hanson that I had posters everywhere and I would spray the posters with hairspray because I could give them tears with the hairspray. And I was like, see, they're alive. They're real. Like they're right here. They're in my bedroom. Taylor Hanson is crying right now. Look at him. He's stuck on my wall. He's crying. Those are real tears.
I think I confused my parents when I was growing up because I loved so much different kinds of music. And then I was obsessed with like Teen Beat and I can't remember what it's called, but every week, like I would go buy all these magazines and then put the posters on the wall. And I had two separate rooms and they had like a doorway that I could walk through. So I had that for years.
Oh,
that's
cool.
And I came back and they knocked down the wall. So when they knocked down the wall, this one side where my closet and everything was very girly, right? It had like my Cameron and, all these kind of guys that I can't even remember off the top of my head, all on that side. And then this side where my waterbed was, it was all,
of course,
this Guns N' Roses, you know, Prince and Poison and all these kind of 80s hair bands. And then I had a headboard with like empty Jack Daniels bottles that I drank in a bush with my friend on the
You hit all the bases. Like, I love that you just had this like open space of the pop people from Tiger Beat and the rockers, and of course, who didn't drink in a bush?
Yeah, we all did it.
We all did it.
That's right. I love it. Next song. All right, Melissa, right? Come to My Window.
Yeah. That song really spoke to me when I was in grade 5. And of course, I had that CD player. So I saved up some of my babysitting money and I bought that CD, and I was really proud of it. I was obsessed with her. I felt like that song was speaking to my soul.
Wow.
Grade 5. Yeah.
Grade 5.
I loved it.
When's the first time you had your first drink?
First drink?
Yeah.
In grade 8, I had a bunch of girlfriends sleep over and we went into my mom's liquor cabinet, but my mom was single. My dad and her divorced, as I mentioned. There was 4 of us girls within 5 years of one another. So including twins, my younger sisters are twins. So we were just like a handful. So my mom didn't actually drink when we were like, she'll have wine now or drinks, but she didn't when we were kids. So we raided her liquor cabinet and we made, we took a pitcher, like a jug, and we put like a little bit of every kind of liquor so that she wouldn't notice it missing. And some of them actually had mold on them. And we were like, it's worth it. It's worth it. Because it wasn't like hard liquor. Some of it was like that banana liqueur and different like melon liqueurs. So we like peeled aside the mold and we're like, it's worth it. It's worth it to get drunk. And I think we had like a few sips of this like nasty concoction and then dressed up as the Spice Girls and went walking around the neighborhood, not drunk, but thinking we were drunk.
Yeah.
And the joke was on us because it was like old, moldy booze.
What Spice Girl were you?
I was always Baby Spice, unless I had a friend who was like very blonde and I was kind of more a dirty blonde. And if the friend who was very blonde was around, she always wanted to be Baby. So in that case, sometimes I'd be Jerry, who I also really liked. So I was cool with being Jerry.
My parents were like hardcore drinkers, and they made like buckets, like big garbage cans of like sake and wine and stuff.
No.
Oh. And those big jugs that you were talking about, like, you remember the ones with like the little tiny handle that you could barely put your finger on, but they were like these massive jugs, and they wouldn't hide them, but they put them all in their bedroom where their closet was. And we would go in there and I would steal like a big jug and put in my old cotton bag. And like we would walk out of the house with this drink. I don't know what we did with the bottles, probably just left them on the road somewhere. And we did that all the time. Right?
That's
I think
amazing.
They ever knew, but yeah, we were bad. I when I started this podcast, I had a lot of girlfriends do the show like to kind of practice. And they were like, house was the first house that we ever got drunk at. I was like, oh my God, this is not good. Bad influence. I was a bad influence. But I miss those days.
Same.
Right?
Yeah, you can't go back, right?
Now.
Yeah, it's different now. And how often are you all in the same room? And it's like everyone's moved across the country or to different countries or has their own families and swimming lessons and dance. It's like, you never really realize how much you're going to miss that it will one day be in the past.
Yeah. Grow up.
Yeah. Who knew we'd grow up?
All right. Next song. We talked about these guys.
Yeah. bop, da ba do bop, do ba do bop. Yeah, Hanson, because they were, so my mom still tells the story at every time she meets a new friend of mine. I'm in my late 30s now, and she's like, did you know that Trisha almost failed grade 8? I actually thought she wasn't going to make anything of herself because she was so obsessed with Hanson that she almost failed grade 8. And I thought she wasn't going to make it to high school. She goes on and on about my Hanson obsession that almost ruined my life.
What were you like growing up in high school? Like, what kind of kid were you?
I was kind of one of those kids that didn't really want to. So at first, I didn't want to stand out. I just wanted to blend in. Kind of hung around more than I should have. I was a competitive dancer and I quit. I was like, you know what? I don't need that. I want to hang out in the bush and drink beer. I didn't drink that much. I didn't smoke weed. I was a little bit naive, but also like kind of lazy and didn't want to be told what to do. So I was like kind of a rebel kid, but not really getting into too much trouble. I didn't really date much because I was super awkward and just wanted to like kind of seem like I just blended in. And I remember a guy tried to kiss me at a grade 9 dance and I didn't know what to do because I'd never kissed someone and I was freaked out. I didn't even like him. I just said yes to be polite to the dance. And so I didn't kiss him back. And then a few days later, him and his friends, they were a year older, they walked by me in the hallway and they were like, and this is like traumatizing when you're a teenager and you're just trying to blend in a school of 1,200 kids. And in the hallway, they were like, she's hot, but it's too bad she's such a weirdo. And I was like, oh no, they know I'm weird. Like, how do they know? I've been doing such a good job of acting normal and like just trying to like fit in. Yeah. So that kind of sums it up.
It's crazy the stuff that we do in elementary, high school. Like, I don't know about in Ontario, but I'm originally from BC. So we went like K to 7 and then 12, right? And our graduating class was like 1,200 people, right? So we had lots of selection, right? We had selection. Was it like for you, or was it like, what were your years like? Was it like K to 7 as well, or?
We were K to 8, and then we had a grade 8 graduation, and then grade 9 to, we had Ontario, we had OAC. I can't remember what it stood for, but it was like Ontario Academic something. And it was basically grade 13. So I had to go from grade 9 to 13. And by the end of high school, I was like, I don't care what anyone thinks of me. I was weird. I hung out with my close girlfriends. We would go and like do ridiculous things like lawn gnome people. We would get dressed up in all black and we'd get on skateboards and go and like steal lawn gnomes and put them in someone else's yard. Be like, we lawn gnomed you. We're badass. Yeah. So at the end of high school, I kind of like found my closest friends and just embraced the weird and, you know, living in a small city, small remote. Well, we're not that small. We have about 75,000 people, but we're just very remote. Like the closest city would be Toronto, big city would be Toronto, which is an 8-hour drive away, or Detroit, which is 6 hours into the US. So,
so what's kind of the worst thing that you and your girlfriends used to do that you maybe never got caught for?
We would try to egg people. And we'd go out in my friend's mom's van. So we'd take the minivan, try to egg people, or actually, I think we Timbitted people. So we would buy those little mini donuts from Tim Hortons, the Timbits, and we would throw those at people, but we had horrible aim. We would never hit them. And we actually one time almost collided head on with a giant snowplow because we were like, kind of coming around a building, trying to get away. And we almost were in a big accident, like in fatal, it would have been fatal, I'm sure. But all I could think of was her mom's going to kill us for ruining the minivan. Like that's all that was flashing before my eyes was we're going to be in so much trouble. Yeah. So a lot of timbidding, but karma is a bitch because I went away to London, Ontario to visit my sister at Western University when all of this was going on. And we were out walking one night home from a bar and someone threw something at me. I thought it was a potato. And I'm like, I got hit with a potato. And I looked on the ground and there was one of those beige Timbits with like mini donuts with a raisin in it, with a couple of raisins. So in the dark, it looked like a tiny potato. And I'm like, I got timbitted. People outside of Sault Ste. Marie also timbit people. Like, this is my karma. I would get timbitted. And I got hit right in the chest. So.
Oh, that's hilarious. I just actually seen this girl that we're going to play right now.
No way.
Hey, Joan Jett, I love rock and roll. I just seen her in Edmonton with Motley Crue, Poison, her, and Def Leppard.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a show.
It was so cool.
That's really cool.
Like, I was never like a massive Bret Michaels. Like, I loved Poison. I thought Bret Michaels was hot. But I'm like, holy shit, dude. Like, are you... Like, is that a wig? Like, what the fuck's happening? Like...
Yeah.
Good. And like his jeans look good. I was like, this guy looks good. I don't know.
Wow.
8th row, so he looked good. I don't know how close first row, but he looked pretty good.
He's hot from afar, but maybe far from hot. Yeah. If you're close up, who knows? But no, if 8th row, I mean, that's still pretty close. I bet he's hot still. Once a rock star. Like, always a rock star. They always have that charm.
I agree. Why do you love that song?
So in high school, another thing about me is that I wanted to be a pop star, and I was serious about it. And I would do Britney impressions and record myself on blank tapes and send them away to the Backstreet Boys managers, Britney Spears managers, and I would take like photos of myself with little costumes from the dance closet at our house, because the 4 sisters, there were all these dance costumes, and I would send away tapes. So, and I wasn't good. I'm in singing lessons right now because I'm like, I need to be like, all I've ever wanted to do in life is I just want to be a good singer, and I want to be able to braid my hair. And I can't, like, I just need to go after these. Why is it so hard?
No, it drives me crazy. Have you ever waterfall? Like, I tried to like start braiding like the waterfall where you're pulling it in and it just kind of like falls down here.
I just can't.
I looked like somebody just hit me in the head with a bat, and it was just like, I come out and I show my husband, he's like, what's happening with your hair? And I'm like, I'm trying to learn how to fucking braid. Like, give me, or like, what the hell is happening? And I just learned how to curl my hair. No word of a lie, like last year.
It's not easy. Like, mine comes out like a wave, but this was pretty much me trying to curl it. I get like, there's like different pieces just kind of flailing different ways.
I was like the banana clip forever. Like, I just always wore my hair in a banana clip. And then when I moved to Calgary, I came out here, and then my best friend moved out here with me. She met a guy, moved to Red Deer, and his mother was a hairdresser, so she became a hairdresser. So come and get your hair done. So finally I went, and that was the first time I ever had my hair straightened. I was like, this is amazing. This is awesome. So I bought a straightener and started straightening my hair, but forever it was like banana clip or like a bun, like just a mess.
Yeah. Oh, I still love the buns. A bun is great. It's a classic, timeless classic.
It is a classic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm really envious of people who can braid hair. I think they have something special going on, or they're like an alien, or yeah. Gotta figure that one out one day. Gotta crack that code. So Britney Spears, when I was in high school, covered that song. I mean, the original was amazing, but I was kind of going through that, well, I'm going to be a pop star too, so I better get started with getting out there and performing. So I performed in my local mall. I sang that song. I put on sparkle jeans from Northern Getaway, but I thought I made them cool because I was 17 and I was pairing them with like just like a plain black or glitter tank top or something. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy these sparkle jeans, but I'll make them cool. Throw on a tank top, and I'm going to get out there at the local mall, and this is the song I'm going to sing. I don't think I wish I wish I had the VHS tape. My sisters taped over it, but with their graduation a couple of years later, but I think it's for the best because I can remember it as being epic without facing the reality of what that show was.
So I did a little stalking. I see that you have a really awesome karaoke song that you like to sing.
Oh, like a virgin?
Yeah, like you kill it.
Really? So I was up there like, oh no, there's no turning back. I got myself up here and now I can't leave. So I just kind of leaned into it, but it was, I felt really awkward the entire time. I felt like my voice was just straining and it was awkward. That was in Michigan a couple of weekends ago.
Oh, yeah. Really? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I was doing a conference. I was emceeing a conference in April, and this girl comes running up to me and she's like, "Oh my God, Annette, you look amazing. Like you look like Madonna." And I was like, okay, so like I accepted it. But then when I went on stage, you know, you always want that first laugh. And I'm like, oh, I had this girl come up to me and tell me that I look like Madonna. And then I'm like, okay, like Madonna now or Madonna like a virgin? Like,
where on the scale of Madonna?
Yeah, like
have you seen
Madonna now? I hope I don't look like Madonna now because I don't even know.
Yeah,
Catwoman. Like
she's gotten a lot of work done, and her TikToks seem like it seems like she's getting high and going on TikTok.
She's like, I didn't even know who she was. It was funny because I seen one probably like 6-7 months ago on TikTok, and she was sitting around this table and she's like, she got dared to go on a world tour. And I was like, oh my God, crazy. And then like literally 6 months later, she's going on a world tour. And I was like, that's weird. But
wow.
My girlfriend who I was talking about earlier, she texted me, she's like, we got to go to Madonna. Like, we got to go together. And I'm like, I really wanted to go. Like, I really wanted to go and I would probably pay anything, but I don't know. I couldn't I didn't want to remember her. I was afraid of going in her and be like, what the hell is happening? Like, this is weird. And I have that experience of her. I wanted to keep the experience that I have of her, of, you know, like dancing to her music when I was growing up. And like, you know, every Halloween I had to be Madonna. I want to keep that image of Madonna, not like some, I don't even know, crack horror, like dancing on the screen with leather. I didn't want that image to stay with me for the rest of my life.
Fair enough. I've seen all these mixed reviews of Shania on TikTok. Yeah. At first I was seeing all these like horrible clips being like, she's just like making us sing the songs, getting the audience to sing all the songs. Like, we just paid $800 a ticket to do karaoke. But then I'm seeing so many other videos where people are like, she is rocking it. She's amazing. So
it's weird.
I guess Depends on the night, depends on, if you want to have the memory of the person then or the memory of them now.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone changes over the years drastically sometimes. Yeah.
So did you like a lot of 80s hair band music growing up?
When I'd say I liked more like the pop. I liked Tiffany.
Okay, yeah.
New Kids on the Block.
Did you have any crushes? Like, was there a guy singer or that you're like, oh my God, I love this guy, I'm gonna marry him?
John Travolta.
Yeah. That's awesome. That is awesome. What was your obsession?
So I was obsessed with Grease, and I think it was Grease 2 that he was in, or was it Grease 1? No, he was in the first Grease. Yeah, I was obsessed, and I liked his little dimple chin and his green eyes and dark hair and his voice. Yeah,
We actually did that a little while ago, and if you haven't seen it for a while, holy cow, it is something else to watch nowadays. Like, it's like,
yeah.
How did they get away with all of this stuff? Because there's so much censoring crap going on. But I was like, this is insane. Like, this is what we grew up with. This is what we watched all the time. It'd be like bleeping now. Like, they'd have to cut out this part, no pussy out. And it was just like, it's so crazy. I was like, this is insane. I
have to go back and rewatch it.
You have to watch it and then text me and be like, oh my God, Annette, this is out of control.
And I think Grease was because I was just writing a blurb for an upcoming theater show that I'm one of the producers on. We were just doing the press release before I hopped on this call, and I was Googling the show we're doing, and it held so we're doing Fiddler on the Roof, and it held the longest running Broadway show until Grease beat that record.
No way.
Yeah, so it sold, I think Grease was like the longest running and sold the most tickets, or I don't know, Google could be wrong, but yeah, Grease was a big thing on Broadway too.
Yeah, you'll have to watch the movie again.
I have to go back and rewatch it. I watched it so many times as a kid. Yeah, I wonder if now I would be like, really? John Travolta?
No, he still looks good. He still looks good. Yeah, he does. He does. All right. But it's like one of those 80s movies where it's like, what happened here? Like, you guys were friends and then now you're not friends. Like, we didn't get to see the part where you got into a fight to become not friends, like a typical 80s movie. It's like, this happened and then all of a sudden this is going on, and they always leave out the middle where you got to just like fill it in yourself with a typical 80s movie. And that's where I was like, what is happening in this show?
Oh yeah.
And there's lots of controversial stuff in there too, where like, wow, it's interesting, very interesting. All right, here's somebody that's an incredible song.
Does he love me? I wanna know. How can I tell if he loves me so? Oh no, you need to see.
Hey, Cher, incredible. She's still killing it though, hey?
She is amazing. I would go see Cher 1,000%. That would be awesome. Yeah, Cher's amazing. So when I was in like early high school, young teens, my mom had this Cher workout video where Cher was in lingerie singing, I pony, you pony, we all love to pony. And that was my workout in high school. I didn't go to a gym. I did the Cher workout with my sisters and our girlfriends in the living room while boys called on the landline, and I didn't know who they were. They said they went to school with me, and I'd pick up and be like, I'm busy doing the Cher workout right now. Can you call me back? So it brings back all the memories. And then later on in high school, I must have been like 18 at that point, maybe 19. So maybe at the end of high school or beginning of college, university age, we had a local Canadian Idol in our hometown, and if you won, you would be sent to Canadian Idol in Toronto. So I picked that song and I performed in front of like 10,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah. Embarrassing.
Wear lingerie?
I did not. I wore, I think, a little leather jacket and like low-waisted jeans or something. Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I love it.
I don't even know how, I think I was just like trying to impersonate Cher's voice. So I probably didn't, I was probably like, does he love me? I want to know.
I was just gonna say, did you have her voice and her lips? How you're just like, how does she do that?
Yeah.
Where's your favorite place to go and unwind when you just need to like relieve some stress or just kind of be?
We have really, so I live on the Great Lakes and we have like really nice beaches and hiking. There's this one place called Grocap, spelled Groscap. So if anyone looks up Grocap, Sault Ste. Marie, it's gorgeous. So I'll just drive out there. It's like I don't go enough, but it's a 20-minute drive from where I live. So I'll just like drive out there, sit on Lake Superior, and the scenery is beautiful. And you can watch ships going by in boats, and it's on the border of the US and Canada. Yeah, it's beautiful.
So water is a big thing for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I love that. My grandma owned a fishing resort my whole entire life. So
cool.
It was amazing off of Vancouver Island, Sonora Island.
Oh, wow.
So I love it too. I find if I am like amped up, I just need to be by the water, just kind of just chilling in the water. I'm not really like, my husband used to be a swimmer, so he's like an in the water person. I'm like, let's just take the boat out and sit on the water. You can go jump in. I'm good. I don't like to sunbathe and stuff like that. I just want to be on the water. It's like I'm good. I'm good there, having a drink, listening to music, having some fun. You guys all go jump in the water. I'm good.
It's so calming. I love being by the water. I don't go in much either unless it's like a really hot day. Then I'll jump in, but for 2 minutes as opposed to, some people can swim for hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Tell me a little bit about your Pink is In. Tell me a little bit about how it got started. What's it all about?
So Pink is In was created by Lisa Crawford, who is a friend of mine. I met her at a red carpet event for the comedy My Roommate's an Escort that I co-created, and acted and did writing on and all of that. So Lisa came to a red carpet event of ours and we got a photo together. She said, I love the show, that sort of thing. And then I think she might have added me to social media. And then we kind of had like a back and forth, just a friendship after that. And we ran into each other. We ran into each other on an umbrella academy. And she said, I probably, like, I think you're a star. And I'll have a lead role for you someday. Like, you should be a star. And it was kind of one of those things where you're like, oh, people don't say that to me all the time. So that was very lovely and kind. And it's nice to have someone champion you or say they would have a role for you if they ever have a role for you. And then we kept in touch after that, and we did some medical school patient acting together where we were patients. So we did that together. And then she reached out a few months later and said, hey, remember when I said, I think you're a star? I have one of the leading roles in this series I've created. And can I send you the script? So I said, okay, yeah, of course. And I got the script and I'm shocked because she wanted me to play the top dog of a women's prison. And in the show she loved that I was in, I was this non-confrontational girl next door who kind of spoke really high and like nervous laughs all the time. Like, everything's going to be okay. My life's falling apart, but things are great. Yeah, if only I could confront people. Like, she's very nervous. So when Lisa knew me in real life, and then that character that I played that was non-confrontational girl next door, And then was when I got the script and it was like, she's the tough girl in the prison. She's like the no nonsense one who like calls the shots. I thought, okay, this is pretty cool that she thinks that I could play this. So then I started reading the script and really loved it. And then we shot a teaser for the show. The pandemic hit. I moved back home to my hometown. So this was all happening. My friendship with Lisa was in Toronto. I moved back home. And I think like performing is done. This is it. Like,
yeah,
everything's over. And Lisa messaged me a few months into the lockdowns when things were kind of lifting again at one of the points. They deemed film and television, the government deemed film and television to be essential work, I guess, to keep the platforms filled with content for people at home watching. So they greenlit season 1 in 2020. It got picked up by Bell 5 TV in Canada. And then we filmed it in September of 2020. And I think by September 2021, we were filming season 2 and then we filmed a Christmas episode. And then we filmed, I think in September 2023, we filmed season 3. So it was kind of like for the next 3 years, every September. And then I also went there one summer to film a Christmas episode. So over the last few years, I've gotten to go back to Toronto and Hamilton once a year for like 3 weeks to film the show and play top dog in all episodes of the comedy.
I love it. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, it's really fun. If you can get it on Bell 5 TV, it's on there right now. So if you have Bell as a provider and you're in Canada, you can get the app or find it on Channel 1 on your guide. Or if you're in the States, you can get it on Amazon Prime. And then someone told me they watched it on Amazon Prime because they have maybe like a Fire Stick or something. I don't know if that's legal.
I have that. Yeah, I'm going to check it out then.
Oh, I don't know what that technology is. I'm just saying what someone told me. I don't know if that's right or if that's wrong or if it's.
Oh, I'm going to check that out.
Is Fire Stick? I don't even know what Fire Stick is. I need to look into Fire Stick, but someone told me here they watched it on their Fire Stick on Amazon Prime.
Oh, cool. I'm going to check that out then. So is there anything that you request in the dressing room that's like a must-have that you need to have?
No way. I just want to keep getting hired back. When I'm on set as an actor, I'm like, I'm going to be try to be the most easygoing I can be so that I can keep coming back.
So I know
acting is the coolest job. It's so fun. I just want to do it all the time.
I've only been extras and I just have so much fun. I absolutely love it. It's so much fun just to watch everything go down, and it's really, really fun.
Yeah.
So you're obsessed with some actor named Brad Pitt. So tell me where this obsession lies. Does he know that you have this obsession? Should we get him on like a call and have a little conversation with him? What should we do here?
Well, the thing is, Brad and I have a very one-way relationship. He likes to pretend I don't exist. And I like to spend every day walking around in hopes that I will run into Brad Pitt. Gerard Butler has reached out over TikTok and he liked all of my videos. I posted a video about Gerard Butler liking all of my videos and did a green screen with the proof. And then another Gerard Butler said, that's not the real Gerard Butler. I'm the real Gerard Butler, and you should date me. So I told that Gerard Butler, like, I'm really actually interested in Brad Pitt. And then that Gerard Butler said, well, that other Gerard wasn't the real Gerard. So if you ever do want to be with the real Gerard, it's me. And then inboxed me. Probably looking for money or something, which is so strange because Gerard Butler has so much money. So it's weird. It's not adding up. But yeah, I just kind of know that Brad and I are destined to have coffee together. So I'm just kind of manifesting it.
Yeah, waiting.
Yeah.
I'd like to do more than coffee, but we could start with all right, next song. Our Britney Spears, our girl, free Britney.
Yeah. Oh, baby, how was I supposed to know? Yeah.
You're good. I love it.
I think that's how I'm gonna win Brad Pitt over. So,
hey, if we don't free Britney, we could just get you to come in and sing at Britney.
Or Brad Pitt.
Or Brad Pitt.
Or Brad Pitt. Yes.
Yes, and I want to be there, and I'm going to bring Chris Hemsworth. So it's really going to be a great party.
This is going to be a great time.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. Good times.
Back to Brittany. So, do you have like a crazy story? Is this song, bring back memories of the mall days? Dance?
Oh, so yeah. Yeah, it does. I went on a cruise ship with my family and we did karaoke every night. So I would always do my Britney impression naturally. And they had this little like competition one night at karaoke. And they were like, we're auditioning for a cruise ship, Britney. We're auditioning for a cruise ship, Michael Jackson. And I was like, I've been doing Britney all week. I'm going to get up and audition as the Britney. So I auditioned as the Britney. I got the Britney and I performed on the cruise ship in front of all, like, it was like a Carnival cruise or whatever. So in front of like, I don't know, 5,000 people, got up, did the Britney. But I was very nervous when I did the actual performance in costume and I wasn't drinking. Whereas all the other nights, I had a couple drinks, went to karaoke, feeling loose, no nerves, just sang as Britney. But then on the performance day, I was like, I have to do this in front of 5,000 people. And this was quite a few years ago before I was an actor. So I was like, oh, this is terrifying. And I didn't drink that day because we were in this, like, we had to go rehearse and then do the show. And I was nervous. And then I just, it's like, that wasn't as good as I could have done it. But I did it. I got up there.
You signed lots of autographs after throughout the ship? Did people come up?
I did. Yeah, they came up to me and they're like, this is my daughter. She wants your autograph, Brittany. And I was like, okay. So there's all these kids that have a photo with Brittany on a Carnival cruise ship. And they're like looking back at photos now as an adult and they're like, I thought I met Brittany. Why did you tell me that was Brittany? That's not Brittany. Who is this girl? Yeah. And I didn't know what to do, so I just signed it as Brittany because I'm like, I can't sign my name, can I? I didn't know. So I just signed Brittany. I don't know if that's illegal. Sorry, Brittany. Maybe I signed it like Britney Spies. I don't know. I think I just kind of like scribbled and was like, here you go. Hope all your dreams have come true now.
I'm curious with this next song if you can sing it all.
Okay. Oh my God, Becky, look.
Becky, look at her back. It is so big.
Like one of those rap guys.
Like one of those rap guys' girlfriends. Okay. Who understands those rap guys? They only talk to her because she looks like a total prostitute. Okay. I mean, that butt, it just looks like so big. It's so round, so out there. I mean, look, Rose. I like big butts and I cannot lie. You others can't deny that when a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist around thing in your face, you get sprung. Wanna pull up cup because you notice that butt with stuff. Keeping the jeans she's wearing. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring. Oh, baby, I wanna get with ya and take your picture. My homeboys tried to warn me, but that butt you got makes me so horny. Ooh, rumple smooth skin. Say, wanna get my band? use me, 'cause you ain't that average groupie. I see him dancing, tell with romance, and she sweat, wet, got it going like a turbo vet. I'm tired of magazines, seems like that's all the thing. Take the average black man, that's what, she gotta pack much back. So fellas, yeah, your girlfriend got the butt, hell yeah, tell him to shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake that healthy butt. Baby got back, LA facing an Oakland booty. How embarrassing. I did just do that. So when I was in high school, I really focused on my academic skills, like learning every lyric to that song because I thought it would impress. Actually, I did think it would impress this older guy I liked. Yeah. Yeah, he was 4 years older. Yeah. So I learned all the lyrics.
40. I thought you were going to say he was 40. I was like, hey.
He was 40. He was 18 and I was 14, so he might as well have been because my friends were appalled. We're like, he is too old for you. And I guess technically, yeah, looking back, he was. So yeah, we used to drive around with him and a friend of mine who liked his cousin, and we'd all hop in one of their cars and drive around. And I think I heard it once in one of their cars. So then I went home and I recorded it on a cassette tape, and I recorded the song over and over on the front of the tape and then on the back of the tape. I put it in my tape machine, whatever you call it, boom box, went to sleep while it was playing, woke up in the middle of the night to pee, flipped it over, pressed play again, so it would play all the way through again, went back to sleep while it was playing through, and I woke up and I knew every single lyric to this song.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I was really proud. And then I thought, this could work for my studies. And then I didn't care about the studies and did not do that and proceeded to struggle with my grades. Yeah.
Have you ever taken this talent out on the road? Like you're just hanging out with your girlfriends or maybe with some friends or some people that you know, and this song comes on and they're like, oh my God, Trisha, how do you know all these lyrics?
No, I think that was left. I think this is the one and only place that I have showcased that, other than as my 14-year-old self in the back of that guy's car. The next time it came on, I was probably like, casually, no big deal, know all these lyrics. But yeah, I don't think I've performed it anywhere but here. And this is a one-time performance.
You should reach out to that guy just randomly and be like, hey, I'm not quite sure if you remember me, but I am just curious if you remember this song, and then just send him the song.
Oh my gosh. I should look him up now. It would be interesting to see. I think the last time I saw him, I was 20. I would have seen him like 14 years ago, maybe.
Wow.
I saw him. Yeah, I saw him at a boyfriend's house. He came by because they were doing something. They were friends or something, and I was at my boyfriend's, and he came over. So I'd say the last time I saw him, I was in, early 20s. Yeah. So that would be weird to see him now, and he's so old. He's 4 years older than me.
That's weird.
Yeah, which is like nothing now, but at the time.
I want to play a game with you. Ready? Called Marry, Fuck, or Kill. And I just wanted to play this game with you because you did do the Trailer Park Boys movie. So I'm curious. He, Bubbles, or Julian? Marry, fuck, or kill?
Who was the first one you said?
Ricky, Bubbles, or Julian?
Oh, yeah. So Ricky, Mary.
Oh.
Julian, fuck. Bubbles, kill.
That's awesome. I love it. How was the set of that show?
It was really what you would expect it to be, like a professional set, but then you see the Trailer Park Boys. It was also like one of my very first movie sets ever. So I auditioned for a role with with lines, and I did a Southern accent because I just felt like, oh yeah, that girl would have a Southern accent, like a deep, like Texas accent.
Yeah.
So I did that, and um, I just felt really cringy. Like I had no idea what I was doing. I hadn't done a film audition ever in my life before, and then I got a call being like, you're coming back you're coming in as a sunshine girl. I was like, great, I get to be on set with them. Cool. So I went to the set, and I remember it just starting like very early in the morning, like 5 a.m, putting on our outfits, these bright yellow t-shirts and Daisy Duke shorts, and then seeing the real Trailer Park Boys. Yeah. And it was kind of like, wow, is this really happening? Is this real? So they were, yeah, pretty like professional, but also like kind of bantering a bit. Some of them were bantering a bit more than others. Like Mike, who plays Bubbles, I found he was like doing some improv banter between takes, like kind of in character. There was a salad bowl on the table, and he was saying something about like, using the tongs and like going on about balls, salmon vinegar, balls, and just like, silly goofiness. And yeah, it was fun. And then there was like a big prosthetic penis in the scene, and somebody signs a penis. So it was all just like, yeah, just fun Trailer Park Boys stuff, what you would expect. And then I kind of had a crush on the actor who plays Ricky.
Okay.
Rob Wells. Yeah, Rob Wells. He was cute. That's why I said Mary, because he was really cute. He's like my type. And then I went to karaoke with them one night, and Sebastian Bach was in the movie.
No.
So we got to do karaoke with Sebastian Bach at like a downstairs basement bar in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Like who gets to, that was weird looking back. Like that was my first movie experience. What?
That's
and yeah, and then I moved to Toronto. And a couple of years later, I had a girlfriend up from Los Angeles because we had acted in a Christmas movie together. And she was living in LA. She was American. And she came up to visit for TIFF, for the Toronto International Film Festival. And we went out together to some of the parties, and we ran into the Trailer Park Boys. And I said, I was one of the Sunshine Girls in your movie. And then they were like, oh, hey, how's it going? And then I like hopped in a cab with them. We went to this other party for, I think, E1. And went to this other red carpet party and kind of like followed them, I guess, tagged along with them. But yeah, it was cool that they were so like just kind of friendly and like go to parties. And
yeah, it's awesome.
You don't get that on every set. So yeah, that was a cool experience.
That is really cool. Your next song, am going there on the 9th.
Farewell to Nova Scotia, the sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be. When I am far away,
Farewell to Nova Scotia. I love it.
Such a fun song, and it's fun. I love that version of it. When I was assigned that song in singing lessons when I was 17 and wanted to be a Britney Spears pop star, but then had to get up in a local church and sing it like, farewell to Nova Scotia, the sea-bound coast. And a group of friends from school thought it would be really funny to come and crash the show and laugh at me from the pews. The song will really leave a mark on your heart forever.
So So do you like horror movies? You got a favorite horror movie?
Oh, a favorite one.
Are you
I
like
loved
a horror movie girl? Or are you like right in there with like Saw and stuff like that? More gore.
I loved the original Carrie. Loved that movie. When a Stranger Calls, where the babysitter is like watching the kids and the person's in the house, so terrifying. The Halloween movies. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. So kind of a mix of different things. I watched The Exorcist when I was growing up, and it scarred me for life. Like I didn't sleep for years afterwards. So that one is a little bit, yeah, that one really impacted me. And now I watch more true crime than I watch horror movies, but more true crime than horror. What's a cool one we saw? We saw Antler at the theater, or Antler by Guillermo del Toro. In the last like year or two. That one was really cool. Yeah, what else have I watched recently, horror movie wise? There is one that was made during the pandemic strictly on Zoom. Actually, they did have a cinematographer and I think a sound person, maybe the director too, go into the various actors' houses and get some shots of them in the house, but it was mostly over Zoom, and they did like an online seance, and it gets really dark. It was on Shudder when I watched it, and it was called, I don't know if I'll be able to think of the name, but it was really well done. It was really good. And yeah, to scare people with a movie you made over Zoom is pretty cool.
That is cool. We like to play
And
this.
yet I can't think of the name.
You can try it if you like it. So I used to love horror movies. I still do, but like old school horror movies like Halloween, stuff like that. Now I find like it's a lot, right? Like after seeing the first Saw, I was like, okay, that's creative, gross, but creative. But now like Saw 12 or whatever's we're on now, it's just like shock factor. So I'm downloading like B horror movies, like, you know, they're probably not the greatest, but and then we always pick a player. Like we'll have like a bunch of people over and each of us pick a player, and the first person dies, they're out of kind of the thing. So it's a fun thing to play. For some reason, I'm always sleeping with my husband's brother in every single horror movie. Like he'll pick somebody, I'll pick somebody, and we're always end up sleeping together. So it's like kind of awkward.
That's a good like family.
Years, I'm like, what is happening? What's going on? So I had a lady on my podcast last week, and she loves horror movies, but she loves Jaws. And I said, okay, so the next be awesome shark movie. This one, it's gonna blow your mind. It was called Jaws a Claus, and it is like a Christmas shark movie that I am downloading as we speak, because we always really watch them during kind of the holidays, right? So I'm like, I texted my kids and I'm like, God, Mom has found a new holiday movie, and it's Jaws of Claus, and we're watching it. My daughter's like, Mom, how do you find this stuff? Like, what is happening? So feel free to watch that and let me know if you watch it before me. But yeah, I'm excited about it.
I would love to see Jaws the Claus. And you're gonna watch it now, or you're gonna wait till Christmas?
I'm gonna wait. I might not, just like I couldn't wait until watch Cocaine Bear, because I had to Cocaine Bear, and it was surprisingly good. I was impressed. It was a lot, like obviously
it was, yeah.
But I was
the beginning was like
more of a C movie, but
yeah,
actually was a high B. I enjoyed
Jaws. Cocaine Bear was shot really beautifully. Like there were so many dynamic shots, and you can tell it was like high budget, and yeah, she had some dynamic shots in there. I don't know, because I watched it. I was telling someone at work, I'm like, I watched it during the day by myself, and I was doing other things around the kitchen. Like it was just kind of on my laptop. So I said, I didn't give it a fair watch. The way you need to be watching that movie, or the way I would like to watch it, is in the dark with popcorn, maybe a cocktail or like a gummy, and just watch it when you're like a little bit buzzed and with somebody else where you can make banter back and forth about it, and in the dark where it's got your like full attention, nothing else going on. So I'm going to give it a second shot the proper way, like how it should be viewed.
Yeah. I liked it so much that I actually bought it.
You did?
I did, because I did think it was really well done. And I gummy. So I haven't watched it again. And then I went and spent $27 because I'm like, I'm freaking buying this. Done. Husband's like, we might want to watch that like sober. And I'm like, no, this was like this was not what I expected. This one's going in the catalog. So it was funny.
Yeah, it's definitely a gummy movie. If you ever eat gummies, that is a gummy movie, or like a cocktail. Or if you don't want to, like you could watch it sober, but if you do enjoy drinks sometimes, or you do enjoy gummies, that would be a movie to enjoy that with.
Okay. All right, next song.
I call you, I need you, my heart's on fire.
Tina Turner, Crazy.
Yeah.
She is amazing. There is greatest documentary. I think it was on Amazon. I'm right into documentaries too. And I watched it, and I knew a lot of her story, but they were really hardcore on the abuse. And I just like, it was bad. It was really, I didn't realize how, and I'm sure that that was just like a snippet of really what was kind of going on, but it was really, it was really hard to watch as a female. I was like, the abuse was hard to watch, but what was more hard to watch was people were just sitting there. Yeah,
people letting it happen. Like with Britney Spears now, you think, how can the world sit and watch this and not, like, no one, or with any actor that you hear about, or performer or person in Hollywood who you hear about. It's almost worse to like know that there were people who are aware but don't step in.
Yeah, that's the part that was really disturbing. I was like,
that's really disturbing.
Yeah,
that's really creepy and scary.
Hopefully
I get worked up about Britney Spears. At one time I was like, I'm gonna call the police and I'm gonna tell them to go do a wellness check, like go to Britney's house. My fiance was like, I don't know if you can do, like, you do know, like, she lives in California. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna look up that. I already have the number. I looked it up. Like, I'm gonna call the police in California. Like, I don't think she's okay. Have you seen her Instagram? And he's like,
they're all weird, and it's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, and poor Tina Turner. What a legend.
Yeah.
What a legend. How can you, like, like, just getting up and trying to perform karaoke? I'm like, I suck. Like, how do these professionals get up there and do these like 2-hour shows of singing and dancing? And singing is like the hardest thing. You have to breathe right. And it's a lot.
Was she a big inspiration to you growing up, or?
Well, actually, so that song was a song with an ex. And he kind of like, I love the song still. I always loved that song. It just kind of is like it's just a powerful power song. But then I had that song with an ex, and now every time I hear it, I think about him, but not like, oh, what a nice guy. I think like, damn it, why did you have to pick that song as our song? I want to hear the song without thinking about you. But it's not like I think about him like miss him. I'm just like, that guy was kind of a dick. He was kind of like, he was a rude American guy. Like, he was American. He would make fun of me in front of people for having a Canadian accent. And I'd be like, it's like, you're saying it wrong. It's this, dumbass. And I'd be like in a coffee shop in front of people because of the way I pronounce things. I'm like, don't date someone from another country then. Like, I'm not saying it wrong. I just have a different accent than you. Doesn't mean I'm a dumbass. Yeah, so I look back at him and I'm like, why did I date such a dick? Yeah.
We all dated dicks.
We all did, yeah.
like that, and it's Love Bites. If I hear that song, I don't care where the hell I am, I will literally trample people to turn that song off. Reminds me of like my very first kind of real boyfriend, Junior. And like just everything about that song just makes me nauseous. Like I'm like, oh my God, turn this song off. Right. It's like you wrecked the song for me. Not that I really like the song that much, but yeah. It could be like on 1 decimo and we're in a massive party of 9 million people and I could be like, oh my God.
You pointed out and you know what's playing.
We gotta destroy it. Where's the sledgehammer?
Yes, yes. And how amazing is that song that how amazing is Tina Turner that I'm like, I still freaking love this song. I'm like, he was a dick, but you're simply the best, better than all the rest. No, you weren't, but who cares? The song is still a jam. Yeah.
So we're going on your last song. Go there. I want you to just kind of tell our audience where to find you, what's coming up for you over the, call it till the end of the year, really. What's going on for you?
Oh, I'm acting in, I know of one movie that I'm doing in July, but we don't really say anything about any movies until after it's done and out. So, and then hopefully there's more to come for Pink is In. Yeah. Yeah, we have a distributor in Los Angeles, in the States, and they're looking for additional platforms beyond Amazon Prime and Bell 5 TV. So just waiting to hear good news from the Pink team that either we're filming again or that we're gonna be out on more platforms. And yeah, I'm doing a movie in July. And yeah, that's it. Just working on my singing lessons and my going to theater auditions locally and producing some local theater. And yeah.
I love it.
Just that sort of thing.
Your last song, and
I'm going for coffee with Brad Pitt. No big deal.
Yes. That's on Friday.
Yeah, that's on every Friday at 2:00. Brad Pitt and I coffee, and we're discussing the project.
I bet you if you picked a coffee shop in Ontario and you went there every day and you like TikToked it or videoed it and just went, it's Friday, Brad is still not here, I bet over time somebody would see that and he would be one day.
Well, because the thing is, someone like Brad Pitt, he's not on TikTok. Gerard Butler, they're not on TikTok, but they're not on TikTok as the fake Gerard Butlers and Brad Pitts who are inboxing me. But guess what? If I was Brad Pitt, I would still be curious to know what the rest of the world was up to, because just because you're Brad Pitt, you don't want to be out of touch with the world. So I would be on TikTok, but I would be under like user 123 loves flowers or something with like a photo of a flower as a profile picture. So I mean, it could get to Brad.
It could.
So I'm motivated now. I will do that. It will get to Brad. It will.
We're manifesting. Such a great,
just a small town girl. So good. Reminds me of every dance ever, but then and wedding. But then also locally we did a production of Tony and Tina's Wedding, which is like an interactive wedding show. So they actually so I ended up going out to auditions last year and I thought like, I'm gonna make a fool of myself. I don't know anyone in theater locally in this city because I spent so many years away in Toronto and I did a bit of theater there, but I hadn't done theater in my hometown, and it's a really good theater community. There's like 5 theater companies and they're all so strong. And I was like, who am I I'm not gonna know anyone, and they're all friends and they all know each other. So I went to the auditions, and it was like a lot of improv and getting up and doing different scenarios as different characters from the show. I ended up booking Tina in Tony and Tina's wedding. And then we had this whole like 80s wedding at the big wedding hall here. And I think we had like 200 to 300 guests a night at the venue. And we had like a scripted show with a lot of dance choreographed dances to Madonna, and a lot of like the wedding ceremony was scripted. Things throughout the show were scripted that had to happen, but then there was a lot of room to get out there and interact with the guests and gossip with the guests about what was going on in the show. So I had so much fun with that. And then at the end of the show every night, Journey, Don't Stop Believing would come on after we did our bows. So when we could finally crack our character, like all night when I'd see people I knew, they'd be like, Trish, and I'd be like, who? And then I'd stay in the Tina character, and I'm like this like 25-year-old Tina, and this is like 1982. Who's I don't know Trish, but I'll look out for her. So at the end of each night, we finally got to like do our bow and then say hi to our friends and be like, thank you so much for coming. I tried so hard not to break character. I'm so sorry. I like pretended you were somebody else and confused you. And then we would like hug, and they'd bring over flowers to different cast members, and we'd all dance together. So that was a really special moment that's like seared in my memory forever, because there's nothing like that feeling of performing live with people and with the audience being a part of the show. So yeah, that's just made that song even more special to me. So now when I hear this song, if I'm out driving in my car, I'm instantly brought back to that moment of just like feeling so much gratitude for getting to act and just getting to like put on a show with people and be a part of something that just felt kind of like a little bit of, felt like there was some magic around it. And it just felt really positive. So yeah, that song brings me back there now. And to every school dance ever. And every wedding.
Yeah.
And back to the 80s. And who doesn't want to be in the 80s?
That's right. I agree. That song brings up tons of memories for me too. Like when I think of it. And I love just being able to just to play that song, and you can just see, it doesn't matter who you're with, they're like, oh my God. And it just makes
you see them light up too.
Yeah, it's like a switch. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Just puts everyone in like a happy mood, and people just drop everything and get up and dance. That's pretty powerful.
It is. I had so much fun with you today. Thank you so much.
Likewise.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Music Junkies. Like, subscribe, follow. I will give out all our contact information so you can go stalk her, because that's really wants. But I laughed. Thank you so much for sharing all of your memories and being open. And I loved you singing. Oh my God. I'm gonna make 500 clips of just you singing, which is so awesome. I love that you're so open. So thank you so much, Trish.
This was so much fun. I love this podcast. So thanks for letting me be a part of it, and like sending me down that rabbit hole of memory lane.